All right, let's dive right into this explainer. We're looking at a story that takes your classic isekai setup and just violently flips it upside down. Forget the power of friendship, we're talking about brutal corporate climbing and cutthroat survival instincts. Honestly, if you've ever had the urge to aggressively climb the corporate ladder or, just walk out on a highly toxic job, this is absolutely the ultimate revenge fantasy.
Our story kicks off with Kazuya. This is a guy whose entire day-to-day existence was just missed deadlines, instant noodles, and a boss who literally did not care. He actually works himself to death. But when he wakes up, there's no peaceful afterlife waiting for him. Instead, he meets the goddess Omiru in this sort of divine waiting room, and she just completely mocks his miserable life, pointing out that he died with no money, no love, not even a cat. Then she ironically crowns him the world's strongest corporate slave. It's a seriously harsh intro, but framing everything through Kazuya's relatable, ground-down corporate mindset is absolutely crucial for understanding literally every crazy choice he makes from here on out.
I mean, just look at this wild career trajectory. Kazuya's status skyrockets in the Caribbean continent compared to his completely stagnant past life on Earth. We're talking about going from being worked to death to reincarnating as a so-called hero, killing a goddess, surrendering as a literal pet dog, and finally bagging a promotion to tax captain. Think about it. Humanity took tens of thousands of years to evolve, right? Kazuya did all this in 45 days. But okay, that massive leap from reincarnated hero to goddess slayer, we definitely need to talk about how that happened.
So here is the brutal truth of the situation. The goddess Amiru never actually saw Kazuya as a human being. Her grand master plan was to hand him a bottle of paralyzing alcohol, force him to burn his own life force away to summon ancient heroes, and use that alcohol to freeze the demon lord so the human general Helga could swoop in for the kill. To her, he was just disposable fodder. But Kazuya, he executes the ultimate corporate survival tactic. He violently terminates his divine boss. He literally smashes the paralyzing alcohol over the goddess's head, shoves the bottle down her throat, and just watches her die, promising himself he's going to live a long, happy life entirely on his own terms.
Unfortunately for Kazuya, that grand plan for survival hits a massive brick wall the second he drops down to the mortal realm. He lands smack in the middle of a massive siege. General Helga challenges the terrifying Demon Lord, fully powers up, goes in for her ultimate strike, and the Demon Lord just effortlessly slices her head clean off. Now, realizing this Demon Lord looks exactly like the goddess he just murdered, Kazuya doesn't hesitate. He drops straight to his knees and surrenders. He completely humiliates himself, literally barking like a dog to prove his absolute obedience. It is, without a doubt, the ultimate act of corporate bootlicking. But you know what? It works. The Demon Lord is actually amused.
And that brings us to a really critical pivot point in this explainer. Sure, he survived the battlefield, but the demon kingdom itself is a completely different beast. Remember, he's totally talentless in a world crawling with high-level monsters. So the real question is, how does a regular, talentless guy survive in a kingdom ruled by literal nightmares?
Well, let's dive right into Act 2, Corporate Warfare and Assassins. You see, Kazuya doesn't rely on magic or swords to survive. Nope, he treats the deadly demon hierarchy exactly like a cutthroat corporate office.
Because Kazuya plays the role of the loyal military dog so well, the Demon Lord actually promotes him to captain of the tax department. It's a super calculated political move, putting an unbiased outsider in a key financial role. But almost immediately, Kazuya is hit with some extreme workplace harassment from this disgraced, bald elf named Grafano, who literally wants him executed on his first day. But Kazuya is a seasoned veteran of toxic workplaces. He flips the script completely. He casually dodges Grafano's bullets, using what he jokingly calls observation hockey, effortlessly rage baits the guy, and then flexes his new authority by howling to summon the Demon Lord's elite personal hounds for backup. It is a hilariously brutal tax office showdown, and it totally cements Kazuya's authority.
But as you can probably guess, humiliating a guy like Grafino paints a massive target right on Kazuya's back. Enter Demon Chief Esteto. Now, Esteto is a really powerful second-generation demon with these terrifying mushroom powers. But here's the kicker. Esteto is deeply, deeply insecure. He is absolutely desperate to rack up 10,000 contribution points to get this massive promotion to the rank of King Forger. And he gets totally manipulated into believing that taking out Kazuya is his golden ticket to getting that promotion.
Now, Esteto isn't about to get his own hands dirty. Instead, he hires Aim Grim, who's supposedly this loyal human assassin, to wipe Kazuya off the map. And this sets off a ridiculously high-octane assault where a whole swarm of elite assassins just ambushes Kazuya. The power scaling we're seeing here is absolutely terrifying. We're talking about a steel-bodied sumo, a guy with super regeneration, a fighter who can literally manifest giant limbs, and the absolute most dangerous one of the bunch, number 8, who is a level 50 anomaly.
But Kazuya isn't facing this alone. He's got a bodyguard, a cyborg super soldier named F1. And what unfolds next is this incredibly visceral, deeply tragic battle. F1 goes full Terminator mode, unleashing these forbidden annihilation beams that are literally melting his own core just to keep Kazuya safe. You see, F1 has this tragic backstory. He sees himself as a coward who failed to save his brothers centuries ago. And this all culminates in a beautiful, heartbreaking sacrifice. He uses his melting, falling apart mechanical body as a physical cushion to safely crash land Kazuya out of harm's way. And he happily shuts down forever, finding peace in the fact that he finally managed to save a human life.
It's just a devastating loss. F1 is completely gone. Kazuya is broken, emotionally shattered, and physically scarred from the crash, and the mastermind pulling the strings behind these assassins is closing in fast. So with his ultimate protector destroyed, how in the world is a broken Kazuya supposed to defeat an ancient king forger?
Let's find out in Act 3, The Prophecy and Ascension. Because guys, this isn't just some random street fight anymore. This ties directly into a centuries-old master plan that is quite literally about to explode into reality.
Get this. 250 years ago, humanity's strongest hero, Raphael, used his future sight and actually foresaw this exact day happening. He knew Kazuya was the only person who could truly bring an end to the war. So, Raphael set up this brilliant 250-year-long contingency plan. He secretly met with the Demon Lord, orchestrated his own fake public execution just to appease the corrupt nobles, and had his incredibly loyal student Edward bury specific hero relics at the exact coordinates where Kazuya would eventually need them. Talk about playing the long game.
And man, Kazuya needs those relics right now more than ever, because we get hit with a massive plot twist. That assassin instructor, Aim Grim, yeah, totally just a disguise. His true identity is Drax, the ancient king forger, who everyone thought died 350 years ago. Turns out, Drax survived by stealing the life forces of his own soldiers. He has literally spent centuries running humanity's hero academies for the sole purpose of corrupting them from the inside out. He turns his own top students into mummies just to constantly regenerate his demonic strength. It is unbelievably messed up.
Seeing F1 dead on the ground and realizing Drax has been cannibalizing his own students completely pushes Kazuya over the edge. Every ounce of his corporate cowardice just vanishes. He forcefully activates the goddess's power, the same power he stole way back in the divine realm. And we get this absolutely insane visual contrast. You've got Drax spamming his stolen regeneration and elemental powers, while Kazuya is pushing so far past his physical limits that his mortal body is literally shattering and breaking apart as he brutally beats this ancient demon down. He punches Drax through half the city, literally treating a legendary king forger like a cheap plaything.
But here's the catch. Kazuya's fragile mortal body simply cannot contain that much divine power forever. He starts expanding, looking like a titan that's right on the verge of bursting. And right at the exact moment he's about to explode, Edward, Raphael's ancient student, shoots those 5 buried relics directly into Kazuya's hands. Kazuya's body bursts open, but instead of dying, he acts as a living anchor, summoning the 5 legendary heroes directly into the present-day battle. It is so cinematic. Aegis, Vera, Corinne, Aris, and humanity's absolute strongest, Raphael himself, all step onto the battlefield ready to take down the remaining king forgers.
Now, while this massive, world-shaking war is kicking off, Kazuya is facing what you could call his ultimate performance review. His soul ends up at the Cloud Fort, where he meets the divine overseer Antiphon. At first, Kazuya is just drowning in guilt. He fully believes that his selfish choice to kill the goddess is what caused all this insane suffering. But then, he stops running. He finally accepts his choices and takes real responsibility. And because of that, Antiphon crushes Kazuya's mortal soul and triggers this agonizing, mind-bending soul swap. Kazuya's consciousness is entirely swapped with the dead goddess Omiru. That's right. The former overworked corporate slave just got a literal promotion to Dimension Manager. He is a god now.
Meanwhile, back down in the mortal realm, absolute chaos has completely erupted. The summoned heroes are clashing with the king forgers, but Raphael finds himself standing face to face with the demon lord. Now, Raphael is pretty confident. He thinks his future sight basically guarantees them the win. But the demon lord? She just smiles. She completely bypasses his visions by unleashing the Gaia Force, effortlessly freezing time across the entire Caravel continent. It's a total power move. Raphael is trapped, completely frozen in place, and entirely at her mercy.
Which brings us to the end of this insane sequence. I mean, we started with a miserable, overworked salaryman eating instant noodles, and now we are watching time-stopping demon lords facing off against resurrected heroes. As Kazuya finally ascends to literal godhood and looks down at a completely frozen world, the ultimate question remains. Will humanity's greatest hero somehow win the day, or is the unstoppable demon lord going to completely shatter the world before Kazuya even has a chance to clock in for his first day as god? That is a massive, incredibly tense cliffhanger that absolutely guarantees you are not going to want to miss the next chapter of this chaotic, action-packed epic.